on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see running back Joe Mixon coming off a 100-yard performance a week ago, as it'll be the Miami Dolphins taking on the New York Jets. With that, we head up to MetLife Stadium as we'll hand it over to the two men that'll call the action, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Jets ball club. They come in at the bottom of the NFL power rankings, and we understand why. They're 0-12.
And even beyond the power rankings, offense isn't playing very well. Defense is giving up a lot of points. That equals 0-12.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, they come in off another victory a weekend ago. That ran their win streak up to 7 now.
And I think that last week established them as Super Bowl frontrunners. They're playing with for grit, determination, and somehow finding a way not to panic. What a horrible start for them. I mean, they haven't won a game yet. So now, as a quarterback, you're not just talking to your team. You've got to demonstrate to them what they need to do to win. He's got to be the leader by how he plays.
On the ground, this is Isaiah Crowell. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff them in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, set the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it. They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. Room to run past midfield. There he goes left side. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And the Jets set to take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks, because then the defense has the advantage. Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. Look at the starters defensively for the Dolphins. In that win last week over the Giants, they were very good.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, do you now decide that I can't throw the ball against this team and try and run it like crazy? Or do you challenge them? This is going to be fun.
They'll try to run for it with Corral. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
A good return there, 17 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. So the Dolphins offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed and, more importantly, perhaps that first-round bye.
But they have to clinch it, don't they?
Yeah.
That's the key, right? So, in a sense, the playoffs have started. They've got to go ahead and get this thing done. Otherwise, it's a different road, and you really don't want to be at the mercy of other teams and their results.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. And what they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Allen now looks to throw. Brought in over the middle by Grant. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps.
And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Tyrone Crawford. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. On 2nd down, here's Allen. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Grant. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And fights through one man and avoids the contact by sliding. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Now let's go! 3-19! 3-19! Gone!
From the now, a look at the Dolphins' offensive unit.
Out of the backfield is Joe Mixon, and he was a valuable commodity coming out of the University of Oklahoma because of his ability to be so versatile. Can run it inside with power, gets to the perimeter and can outrun people. catches the ball not only out of the backfield, but you can split him out just like he would be a receiver. And I think that if he wanted to dedicate himself, he'd be an all-pro kick returner.
They get it to him running left. And he's going to pull his way down to about the 1-yard line. 7 big yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line with 3rd down upcoming. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
Here's Mixon. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC as the Jets come back out on offense. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
Oh, he nearly picked it. Maybe daylight in front of him if he could have held on. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd down, here's Crowell. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, it's Taylor. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Ryan Shazier in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. You look at the numbers on the year, up over 1,100 yards now, and the last drive had a touchdown as well. Everybody offensively just seems to be in cohesion, don't they?
They do, and when you look at this rushing total, and you know at the end of the year, that means gifts for the big guys up front. Offensive line, tight ends, they're going to get a nice little bonus from their big-time runner.
When did that become a thing, by the way, that the quarterback or running back gets gifts for the offensive line?
I don't know. I can't go back and pinpoint it, but it's a great tradition, and it rewards those guys because they don't really get the attention that they deserve. We rarely call their names. It's a nice way for them to end their season.
That one good for 10 yards, and it'll be second and very short. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. The Dolphins with the early lead. And we will return to MetLife Stadium after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. A handoff to Mixon. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. On the stop there defensively, Marcus May with the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Play action. Now it's Allen. And he slings one that's incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19. No, check that. We're going to Mike 52 right here.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Jamie Meter. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here.
The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
And while there is no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window. They got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. On 3rd down, Taylor. And this one is incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. Now Austin. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here.
They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Here's Allen. Over the middle, complete. It's Grant. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there, a 22. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Gone!
Allen now on 1st down. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Albert Wilson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. Extra point now by Boswell. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that makes the score 21-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC as the Jets come back out on offense. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up, This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10.
Ready. 3-19.
Here's again to Crowell. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Damian Williams, 76 yards. And the Jets are able to cut into this deficit. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here. Throwing on first down is Allen. Going deep here for Stills. And that's caught inside the 35. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A big play there for the Dolphins. 47 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Now Joe Mixon. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
I don't know about you, partner, but I'm rubbing my eyes after that play. Did we just see that runner not get yardage? A big-time play by the defense. It does happen occasionally, even against the best running backs who are having big days.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Allen looks to throw on 2nd down. Steps away to his left. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide.
Holding offense.
That's on the Pro Bowl guard from Notre Dame, Zach Martin. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. So the shotgun snap to Allen. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. So 1:56 to play in this first half. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this short timeout. A reminder reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Allen going to throw. He's got the first down inside the 10. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
They'll give it to Mixon. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Here's a run with Mixon. And this is not going to do it as he stopped at the 2-yard line. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run. And
he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. A great play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins add on to their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Tyrod Taylor now gears up to lead his offense again. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say, I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to change much personally.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the 2nd half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the 1st half. Maybe not so much in the 2nd half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room as we'll get you down the coast. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Meanwhile, on the NFL scoreboard, a game going on in Chicago. And it's the Bears who are off to the early lead. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. He was looking that time for Stills, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
4 down, check, 4 down.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Allen. And this one's incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, he'll throw. Escapes the defender. And Wilson has it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down.
One of the selling points of the corner route is usually the receiver is able to move away from the defender. But in this case, he didn't get that far away.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Gun!
On first down, Allen. And to the left side here, Wilson. And deep he goes into Jets territory before being taken down. It's a big play there for Miami. 41 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Partner, I think there's a lesson there. Some days you're just having a really tough time, and for the defense, today has been that day. But after that play, what do you learn? You can still make plays even when the other guy's having success against you.
Green 39! Green 39!
Now Allen throwing on second down. Buying time to his left. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Watch tight end, watch tight end. Tight right.
Now Allen operating from the gun. And that is incomplete here. Stills the intended target, and it's second down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. He'll get it up the middle. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Allen now on 3rd and goal. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal. Allen will look to throw for it on 4th. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Tyrone Crawford in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. A breakdown by the O-line at the worst possible time. 4th and goal, and it leads to a sack.
And I can just see it now. On the sidelines, they're telling the quarterback, you've got to get rid of it somehow, some way. At least get it in the end zone and give us a chance. If we throw an interception, so what? A sack? We didn't even have a chance.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Ready. 319.
On 2nd down, Taylor. And Walker with it over the middle. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now Taylor to throw. Found his target. It's Anderson. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Taylor on first down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Just work with me a second here, because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football, I mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now, you need to be 65 to 70% to be considered an elite quarterback. And in this ball game, it feels like we're playing old school, right around 50%.
Yeah, he's under 50%. He needs to start hitting more targets. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Ready. Flag 32.
They go play action with Taylor. He may try and run for this. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a...
I don't know what was going on there, but the end result, this is going to be a safety. Well, I'm not totally privy to what went on with their offensive meetings, but, Charles, something tells me that one wasn't in the plan.
Yeah, when we had our production meeting, they didn't exactly share that with us, but I'm pretty sure that on the play sheet, the run backwards into your own end zone play was not written down.
Tyrod Taylor now gears up to lead his offense again. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the one touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
Hey, we got 4. Ready. 319. 319. 36.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
For this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. He'll pick up another first.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Coney Ely in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Play action. Now Taylor. He's going to let this one go deep. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, and sometimes that just happens. It is the NFL. They will make some plays against you.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. It's Dolphin football. It's also Dolphin lead to begin quarter number 4.
It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day. 15. Hey, number 8's coming. Number 8's Mike.
Set! 319! 319! Gun!
And here's Allen to throw on 2nd down. And he fires one incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is going to be 3rd and 13. From the gun, Allen. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. So we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC as the Jets come back out on offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Ready. 319. 319.
Again, now it's Taylor on 2nd and 10. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Walker. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. He gets 7 out of it, and he also gets a first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Taylor now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Ready. 319. 319.
Throwing again, it's Taylor. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. From the shotgun, it's Taylor. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. The Jets on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and forever. Now Taylor. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Ready. 3-19.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Pete Carroll rolled the dice, but it didn't work out. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? You want to go for it here? We shut you down? They're over on the bench right now feeling great.
Tyrone Crawford in on the tackle. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd down, here's Allen. Throw left side complete. That's Grant. And now running right through it. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin first down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
All right, here we go.
Allen now looking to throw on 2nd down. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. This carry with the extra effort is going to get him stopped up just shy of the 10. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Here we go now. Green 39.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. Taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Boswell good with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. 5 plays there on that drive, and it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC as the Jets come back out on offense. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. On 2nd down, here's Taylor. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Boswell for the extra point. Extra point put through by Boswell, and that will extend this big lead. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here's the Jet offense now. They head out to take over. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
Back to the air, Taylor after the pick 6. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards there on the first down screen play. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now Taylor to throw on 2nd down. Complete out right to Kurz. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. One of his main targets, Delaney Walker, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
2nd and 10, it's Taylor again. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third. The Jets on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 10.
Hey, boys, we got 4.
Ready. Flag 32. Flag 32.
To throw again is Taylor. And now another one thrown incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. And Allen is actually going to throw it here. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you could put yourself in jeopardy.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Strong right. Strong right. Strong right.
All right, here we go. 319. 319.
Allen again here on 2nd and 10. Over the middle here to Wilson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
On an island over there. Single receiver.
Here we go now. 319.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And that is not a sight they want to see. Joe Mixon very slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So Allen's going to look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Watch tight. Tight ends right. Hey, we got 4.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's him. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Gun! 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 Gun!
Right here, over there, right
Throwing is Allen on third. And he finds Stills, complete. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal.
Lucky 56.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told, and it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins.
Is lined up for the kickoff. Number 12, waiting to return.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25.
Here we go.
Ready. 319.
One last shot for Taylor. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or are you one of those guys
I'm a little
skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for Miami, the win moves them to 12-1 now on the year.